When it comes to Spike Lee, I'm not too familiar with his work as I've only seen a couple of his films, and the ones that I have seen, it's been so long since I've watched them that I don't really remember them. But what I do know is that he is a director with strong opinions and a very distinct voice when it comes to voicing those opinions, and that voice is definitely present in this latest film. And I will say, aside from a couple of creative choices here and there throughout the film, I will say that this is a very well directed movie, and I do recommend that you go see it. The narrative in this movie is fairly balanced. You get to see both sides of the argument. Of course, you get to see the racist and bigoted views of the Ku Klux Klan, but at the same time, you sort of see the closed-mindedness of the Black Panther movement. And you see this in the character of Patricia, who refuses to accept any alternative for the black cause. She just sees all cops as dirty and scum, and even though the main character of that Washington plays is a cop and he's trying to make change within the system, and she just refuses to believe that that is possible. And I really like the balance of humor and drama in this film because the subject matter in this movie is very powerful, and it's such a painful reminder of what goes on in the world back then and also of course now. But the humor just helped lighten the mood a bit in times, and there are times in this movie where you just need to sort of take a breath and sort of lighten up and just laugh slightly at what's going on in the situation, because it's really hard to believe that people used to and still think certain ways in this movie, and the way it comes off like you need to just laugh at this sometimes. And they do sort of step back a bit in this film and do laugh at certain things and certain mindsets of these characters, and just again they just sit back and laugh at it because it's ridiculous that people used to and still think like this. And it's not to say this movie is a straight up comedy. This humor does work and it's very fitting, but the drama is really tense, and I really got caught up in it when Driver's character and Washington's character just trying not to blow their cover and keep their cover intact as they infiltrate both of these groups, and I really liked that part about this movie. But for me, this movie's biggest strength is its cast. John David Washington and Adam Driver have really good chemistry, and the performances are just top notch in this, and I love the inner conflict these characters have to go through when they go on this assignment. I mean, Washington's character has this sort of balance, this act of following his dream of becoming a cop and also trying to help out the black cause and moving that forward, and the conflict that goes on between that, and Adam Driver's character sort of coming to grips and forced to face his religious background for the very first time. And I like that this assignment of infiltrating both of these groups really forces these characters to come to face with those realities, and I love the performances of both of these actors. However, this movie does have a bit of a pacing issue, and it does lead to a much longer film than I feel is necessary. Some of the scenes dragged on a bit, and unfortunately those were the scenes where Lee chose to push his social and political views onto the audience, and I'm just not a fan of how direct his message was in this film. I'm a fan of a little bit more subtlety when it comes to filmmakers delivering their message and what they want to say, because all filmmakers have something they want to say with their films. I do think they deserve for their voices to be heard. It's just I would have appreciated a little bit more of subtlety, especially in what is basically the epilogue of this film, when the story wraps up and it goes directly into like actual footage of the real world. It's just such a painful reminder of the world we live in, and I go to movies as an escape from reality, so I can sort of just turn my brain off to the real world and get wrapped up in the drama or an action film or the fantasy that the world that's being presented in front of me. And it is a little bit too much for me to ask of this film since it is based on a true story, but I've always felt that movies need to have somewhat of a fourth wall to separate the real world from the imaginative world or the world that's being presented to me in this film. And how direct Spike Lee chose to give me this message is just, again, it's such a painful reminder of the horrors that happen in this world, and that's really just the small issue that I had with this film. So aside from those issues, I really did enjoy myself in this movie. It has a powerful message that's balanced very well with the right amount of humor. For me, the cast is the clear strength of this film, especially with the great chemistry between John David Washington and Adam Driver, and this movie will definitely be talked about by everybody that sees it, so I'm giving BlacKkKlansman 3.5 out of 5 stars. So now it's your turn. If you saw BlacKkKlansman, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to like and share it, and stay up to date on all the videos going up on this channel. Give that subscribe button a click. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.